Things do not seem to be getting better for Mr. Alec Pierce over in Indianapolis right now. He's been dealing with an ankle injury basically since OTAs. Once that, originally happened, I was like, okay, not that concerned. We're in June. We got a long way to go till their first game. But all of a sudden, the injury updates, and I say updates, have been pretty minuscule and very vague. So things don't look great for Alec Pierce. I heard just before I got on here live that he had to get another injection in his ankle, which is usually not the greatest sign that your ankle's in really good shape when you have to get another injection in it. So there's reason to be concerned about this whole Alec Pierce injury situation, man. I don't know. I'm hoping that it gets figured out, and I'm hoping that it doesn't continue to be an issue. But where things sit right now, man, it doesn't look great for Alec Pierce to be ready for week one as far as I'm concerned. And I know we're still like a month away from week one actually being a thing, but we would appreciate some good news on this one. And is he the most important player in your draft? No, not necessarily, but I have always thought of him as a decent flex option just because of where he's being valued in drafts right now. And I can't confidently say that at the moment. So very interesting. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Hopefully we're going to get some more news, but happy Monday to you guys. I appreciate y'all being in here tonight. Would love to have you in the mock draft, so you let me know if you want to join. There is a link in the chat for you to join for free. All I ask is you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, show your support. And if you've got fantasy drafts coming up, you're getting down to the wire as far as getting a free copy of my Redraft Draft Guide. And the way to do that is to go in the description, grab the Underdog link, sign up using code FFR, and play one time on Underdog. And I'll send you a free copy of the Redraft Draft Guide. But we're getting close to the deadline here. Now, let's see what the chat is doing. It's a 10-man mock draft we're about to run through, by the way. None of these spots are set in stone. We'll randomize the order. Tamar, good to see you in here, man. How you doing tonight? Sean Jr. McCafferty, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Are we worried about James Cook touches last year? No, not particularly. The guy has been consistently getting about 300-plus touches, and it doesn't usually become as big of an issue for me until you get to the 350 range. Like the 350 range, there's enough history to suggest that these guys aren't able to sustain that level of volume for very long. With James Cook, he's not in that category, and I don't really expect him to get to that category. I think that he is what he is, which is a really good draft pick for where you're getting him, but that's also probably close to his ceiling right there. So, no, I'm not particularly worried about James Cook at the moment right now. Blake Hunting and Fishing. What's going on, my man? Good to see you in here today. Hopefully you're doing well for yourself. And we just need 4 more spots to be filled in this mock draft for us to get this one going. So why don't you guys fill this one up? There's a link in the chat. You can join this mock draft for free. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. Coffeeholic, always good to see you in here, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Get me in that draft Bob ASAP. Draft Bob Sap. That's too good, man. It's too good. We keep having people joining and leaving, man. We got to have this one get filled up here in the next couple minutes, or we'll just run it with bots. GoldenEye, good to see you in here, man. How you doing today? I noticed Rashee Rice isn't on a lot of highlighted players in redraft strategy vids. Is he more of a best ball pick? No, not necessarily. I think that he's a good redraft pick as well. I think it really just comes down to range that you're getting him in, which, to be honest with you, his range still kind of fluctuates. So we still don't really know exactly where he's going in drafts. I'm very much okay with his cost. I mean, his cost isn't too high for me in any situation. So I'm very much okay with drafting Rashee Rice. And we're off to the races with this mock draft. I'm at my favorite spot ever, the 108. I love the 108 so much. It is terrific, man. But GoldenEye, good to see you. Jeff Jordan, always good to see you, man. How you doing today? Jeb T, my man, how you doing? When you do these sleeper mocks, do you still apply best ball logic, or are those strictly on your underdog drafts? Well, there's certain things that best ball and redraft have in common. Like, number one is, in my opinion, if you're playing fantasy football, you want to shoot for upside. Like, that doesn't change from best ball to redraft. Now, in certain situations, would I value someone like a Travion Henderson as highly as I do in best ball? Not necessarily, because Travion is a guy that I do think is going to be he's going to be an issue to start sit for a lot of the season. But there's a lot of similarities too. Like, running backs are going off the board just as fast in best ball as they are in underdog, or as they are in redraft right now. So there's a lot of crossover for sure. When it comes to that draft strategy sheet that I always like to highlight, no, those are completely different situations. Like, those draft strategies that are on that Google sheet, those are all based on underdog's data, not based on redraft data. So if you're referring to that, then yes, that's a different story. But philosophy and logic in general, no, it's not that different. Well, I feel like I'm getting a gift here with JSN at the 108. I'm not even going to think twice about that. I feel really good about that. Man, is this an anti-JSN crowd in here today? That's what I'm pretty curious about right now. HTX Tony, what's going on, man? Good to see ya. What's up, brother? Hope things are going well. Things are going great, man. I hope you're doing well as well. Appreciate you joining tonight. Tyler Sperry, always good to see you too. Hopefully you're doing well. Thoughts on Hampton? Is he dead and varied now? Dead and varied now that the coach said it's a 3-man RB by committee? No, I'm not concerned with Amari Hampton. I mean, listen, Mike McDaniel is, I'm sure, going to use Keaton Mitchell in some certain roles. Kamani Vidal, like, I'm not sure if that one's going to hold up. Here's the thing, man. Like, a lot of the times, I mean, JJ in this range is, someone I do like to give a long look at if he makes it to me at the 203. I am going to go ahead and pass, though, because I would personally rather just take Devon Achane. Now, yeah, man, I think that when it comes to coaches and what they say in the offseason, man, the thing remains true. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So, like, he may very well want to get all three involved, but that doesn't mean that that's going to last. And if they get to a point where Hampton's too good, and as good as I think he is, then how are you going to justify taking him off the field? So, no, I'm not really worried about Amari Hampton. If anything, I'll just buy more of him if he starts to dip. Lamar Edits, good to see you. Would you take Bowers or McBride at the 210, given both are available? Oh, I definitely prefer Bowers. I will say this. I have an overall rankings update coming out tomorrow. Top 61. 61 players will be ranked tomorrow in tomorrow's video, so stay tuned. But in general, Bowers is still my preferred, but I will say this. After watching Carson Beck in the Hall of Fame game, I'm no longer worried if they switch to Carson Beck as much as I was. Because my thing in the whole offseason with Trey McBride was, man, if they do switch to Carson Beck in December, then I don't want to get screwed on that investment when it matters most. I know it was just backups, and I'm not even saying he could be a starter, but I'm less worried now. So I do like McBride, but I do think Bowers has the better upside. If everything goes right for both of them, I think Bowers has the better upside. Alias, good to see you, man. How you doing? McCaffrey 101 it is. Something. Oh, man. I didn't even realize that. That must have been what screwed up the draft to begin with. Was you killed AB going Christian McCaffrey at the 101. That's a game I wouldn't play. But hey, what do I know? Alias, man, it's good to have you. Anthony Bassi, good to see you. Hey, didn't even realize draft started. Auto-picked CMC. Did it really? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I didn't think it would auto-pick Christian McCaffrey. That's a fascinating auto-pick right there. It's got a mind of its own, apparently. I mean, Drake London in the mid-third round. Wow. That's crazy how we're kind of letting him go. That's fascinating. I was going to say, if he makes it back to me, there's no way I'm passing him up. I mean, McBride here is very, very tempting, I will say, but given that it's a 2-flex league, Jeremiah Love is very high in my rankings. I like him at the back of the third. HTX Tony said, just found out I got the 110 in a 10-team full PPR in my home league. Am I cooked? No, dude, the back of the draft is not bad. I don't know why people really throw shade on the back of the draft. I don't think it's a bad spot to be this year at all. You can go double hero running back, and I just did a video today on the double hero running back strategy where it's best applied. Spoiler alert, it is to the back of the draft. So, no, I think you've actually put yourself in a good position to get a lot of good values at running back and at receiver too. So, no, I have no issue with that. Like, in one of my home leagues, I'm at the 112 out of 12. I'm psyched to have that pick. 110, basically the same thing. Okay. I do like Jacobs here. I will say that. Jacobs and Kyron are both intriguing options. Jacobs is gone. I think Egbuka went at the 303. Man, Egbuka in my drafts, he goes really high. I have started to pick up on that. High T versus... I think I'm going to wait on running back. I'm going to go T. Higgins. I very strongly considered Kyron there, but I just like the running back values at the back of the 5th. I think I could get someone good. Rodney McCracken. What's going on, man? Good to see you. It's so hot here in Denver, I need some patty ice. Ooh, those sound like some fighting words, man. Those Broncos fans, they might not like that one. I'm assuming you're talking about Patty Mahomes. It's good to see you. Coffeeholic drafted an underdog team last night at the 112. Turned out great. Probably one of my favorite teams I have drafted this offseason. Well, that's kind of my point, is that the back of the draft is really not an issue. Like, it really, truly is not. I think that you could go a lot worse spots, like the 108, the 107. I think those are terrible spots. I think the 109 sucks. Now, the 109 in a 10-man league, it's a little different. You're basically at the turn right there. So you can feel good about reaching on some guys. But if you're in a 12-man league, 109, 108, I hate those picks. I think the 112 is a great place to be. Lamar edits. All right, sounds good. Thank you. Anytime, man. Anytime. It's good to have you in here. Coffeeholic, how did JJ go that late in Sanity? He usually goes kind of late in my drafts. Like, anytime we're in a roundup draft, he's usually going pretty late. That is one thing that has been consistent, is everybody knows how I feel about JJ, and it typically permeates the room with people who also don't really like him. So, not surprising. 301 is a little shocking, I will say. That was good value on him. That was definitely good value on him. Adrian Martinez. What's going on, my man? It's always good to see you. Hey, Ryan. Hope everything is well. I haven't finished your videos yet, but almost done watching them. I appreciate that. I'm on 2 leagues, 12 team PPR. Not a fan of 12, but any advice in a 12-man league? Well, I don't think, again, like I've been saying, I think the 12 spot in a 12-man league is pretty awesome. Like, I really, really do. Any advice in the 12 spot in the 12-man league? That's the way I'm taking this question. Yeah, dude, I mean, the best case scenario for you would be, obviously, if you were to get a value like Amon-Ra that fell to you, that's not going to happen, but like, that would be best case scenario. Usually it doesn't happen, and I don't like JJ, and I don't like CD there. So what I personally do is I go double hero running back. because you get great wide receiver values in the third and fourth. And sometimes you get a guy like Cam Scatterby that can sneak back to you. And if you want to go robust running back, I am not going to say that's a bad idea at all. My guy is somewhere here. Yeah, there he is. DeAndre Swift available for the taking. And I'm going to go ahead and take DeAndre Swift before anyone can snag him up. But yeah, dude, no, I think best case scenario for you is to go double hero running back. And if you have a guy like Cam Scatterby who makes it back to you, then I would pull the trigger on robust running back. And then, because you can still get good receiver values in the 5th, 6th round. So, no, I think you're underselling how good the 112 is, to be honest, Adrian. Trust me, 112 is not historically a place I love to be, but this year I do like it a lot. It's one of those sneaky positions I'm happy to be in. It's good to see you, man. Blake hunting and fishing. Is it just me or is Chase Brown way underrated? Working with the wide receivers in training camp, contract year, top running back with Burrow healthy last season. Burrow said he will be his second target behind Jamar. No, I mean, Chase Brown is just one of those guys that is one of the safer picks you can make in fantasy, to be honest. Like, that is a really, really safe pick right there. Now, of course, much like everyone, the only concern is injury to him, because at this point, if people are worried about injury to Burrow affecting him, it doesn't. Like, last year proved that an injury to Burrow is not going to affect Chase Brown, unless, of course, it is Jake Browning, who sucks. But they have Joe Flacco. Like, they got rid of Jake Browning. So, no, man, to me, I think Chase Brown is a tremendous pick in fantasy drafts. Now, would I say he's undervalued? I don't know about that. Like, in this draft, for example, he went at the 201. I think that's a really good place for him. I'd still rather take the upside swing on Hampton. I'd rather take James Cook a little bit. I'd rather take maybe Achane, Genty. Like, Chase Brown, Genty, and Achane are all similar, very similarly in a group to me, where I feel like you can make the case on all of them. But no, Chase Brown is one of the safer picks in fantasy, in my opinion. It's a good question. Alias, if Bauer's there in the third, I got to grab me a piece of him. I don't blame you, man. Yeah, Bauer's in the third. I'll take Bowers in the third any day of the freaking week. I don't care if it's a 2-flex league or not. The Mikado. What's going on, my man? Good to see ya. Is Buka hype too much right now? Sophomore slumps are a real thing for wide receivers. You're the first person who's asked me about an Buka slump. So I'm a little taken off guard, I will say. I think my honest opinion is you're right about that. Like, sophomore slumps for wide receivers are a thing. I think where I sit is that I was so impressed watching him in the first 6 weeks last year that he is like, as bad as the end of the year was, his beginning has made me overlook a lot of things I probably shouldn't look. I think that his upside is still really high to me. Baker in a contract year could play out of his mind. And for me personally, like, if he does, then Egbuka is the direct beneficiary of that. So I'm not personally worried. I get your point. I do think it's something to think about, but I also do think that you could do a lot worse than Emeka Egbuka in drafts. I think there's landmine receivers in his range that guys like Garrett Wilson should not be even close to Egbuka. I just think that you could do a lot worse. It's a good question, though. I don't think you're off. I don't think you're out of touch by asking that question. It's not a bad question. It's good to see you. Rodney McCracken, Pat Bryant is Patty Ice. Oh. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? That is so good. Pat Bryant, the real Patty Ice. Thomas Watt, what's going on? Good to see you. With the news on Alec Pierce, do you think Keenan Allen is on his way to the Colts? That was the first thing I thought of yesterday, actually, when we first got the injury update. I do think it's a very strong possibility. I think it makes a lot of sense because it's not just him. Josh Downs is also injured. Now, his doesn't seem as significant, but to me, to be honest, like it goes beyond that. Like, what do they have? I know they're saying they like Ashton Doolin. I get all of that, but what I'm saying is I think they're deficient already at the position. So if they're going to struggle, especially if he comes up lame to begin the season, I don't know, man. I think that there's definitely a really good chance that he goes there because they definitely need it. I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, you guys know how much I struggled to pass up on Jaden, man. Jaden in the 7th? Whew. There's no way I'm passing that up. No freaking way I'm passing that up. Lamar edits, I have the 101 in a full PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, no premiums. What would be your opinion? 101 in a full PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, no premiums. Yeah, I mean, nothing changes at the 101. I definitely am still going to go Bijan or Gibbs. Like, I'm not going to fight you on either one. My personal preference is Bijan. I do think that I trust his physical stature more to hold up getting the workload that he gets consistently. With Gibbs, it's a little bit of a projection, but Gibbs is not a bad pick either. So splitting hairs discussion on the 101 pick. You can't go wrong with either, but the format doesn't change anything. Jeb T, how's the 108 in a 10-man? Just got that spot for a draft in home redraft leagues with casuals. Well, if you're playing with casuals, you'll be fine. Like, this league, or this mock right here, this is a more advanced mock. So, I actually have kind of liked the team I put together here. I actually haven't even said that. I actually do kind of like this team I'm putting together. So, it could be worse. You know, Tucker Kraft in the 8th for sure. No, it could be much worse. Like, I've got Jaden, I've got Achane and Love. I've got JSN, T. Higgins, Tucker Kraft, DeAndre Swift, Mike Evans. I could have put together a much worse team, so I'm not unhappy with this. I don't typically like the 108, but if you're in a redraft league, man, you're going to be just fine. You're going to get values there that you wouldn't be able to get in the 112, and you're going to get people who are making dumb moves, being safe. You're going to come out just fine. I'm going to go ahead and put the Underdog link in the chat right here. We are going to join Underdog in Underdog Draft after this one, so we'd love to have you guys in on it. If you guys want to join us on an Underdog Draft, put some real money on the line, that's what we're going to be doing here next. So if you use my code FFR to sign up, you're going to get a free copy of the draft guide. If you do it within the next 48 hours, because the offer is going to end here soon. But, yeah, it's always fun over on Underdog when we get a good group together. Let me tell you that. It is always a good time. So there you go. Link is in the chat. And we'd love to have you guys over there after this. All right. Let's get back to the mock draft. Alias asks, who's your favorite rookie wide receiver for this year? A lot of talk around Jordan Tyson right now. I mean, trust me, dude, no one was a bigger fan of Jordan Tyson as a prospect than me. Like, a lot of people will say they were. If you go to my Dynasty channel, I used a couple words on this guy, comparison-wise, that most people did not like. Like, I compared him to a poor man's Jamar Chase. I'm a big Jordan Tyson guy. Where I sit on him this year is I do think that because of Olave, and because of the injury that kind of knocked him out for a good portion of OTAs, I don't typically like to invest too much in receivers, running backs, rookies in general that miss practice time in the offseason because of injury. They typically start slower than other rookies who are healthy. So the guy I'd like more this year in 2026, I'm not talking Dynasty, I like Carnell Tate more. I think Carnell Tate, like, he's cheaper most of the time than Jordan Tyson. Like, this one, they went 2 spots apart. They were both good values in this range, but usually Tyson is a little cheaper. Or, I'm sorry, Tate's a little cheaper sometimes. I think Tate, this year, man, I think he's set up to succeed because I believe in the Tennessee offense as well as I believe in the New Orleans offense. The only difference is Wan'Dale Robinson is Tate's competition. I'm not talking down on Wan'Dale, but Olave is Jordan Tyson's. There's a difference between the two, and Jordan Tyson is going to have to fight way harder to dominate target share. And I love Jordan Tyson as a prospect. I don't think it's his year, and I'm not even ruling out the back half. I do think he's someone who can win you a back half, but I think Tate is the better player. They're both good. I like them both this year. I like Tate better this year, though. It's a good question. Aiden Foley, would you take Carnell Tate or Jadarian Price? They have similar ADP and wondering who to take for my flex spot. Well, speaking of the devil, Carnell Tate is definitely the pick I would prefer. It's really not even close, to be honest with you. Yeah, honestly, I don't mind DK here. At this point, I don't even know if I'd call it fading. I just don't want Marv. I really just don't want Marv. Even in the 909, I think I'd rather take DK there. I don't know. I'm trying it on for size. But no, man, I'd definitely take Carnell Tate there, only because of the fact that, like I said, I think he's really set up for success this year. I think Jadarian Price, he's got this little window for him to be able to pull through as the clear RB1. And I just don't know if I see that happening when Zach Charbonnet comes back. If he comes back like around, a little before Halloween, and he's been in this timeshare, but he just got the job 2 weeks ago, and then Zach Charbonnet comes in and screws up the momentum, I just don't trust that as much. I'd rather take the shot on Tyson. Coming in with some good questions tonight, guys. Appreciate that. Well, I don't double up on quarterback and tight end in the draft. I just don't do that. In redraft leagues, I think it's a wasted space. At this range, do I like Alec Pierce? That's my question. Mekhi Lemon also missing a ton of time. I will say that. I'm going to go with Huge here. 10th round cost on that, I like that a lot. Avery McLeod, is that how you say it? It's good to see you. I just picked Ekbuka over Neighbors. In a redraft league, I would probably agree with that. Best ball, I'd rather have Neighbors, but you're probably talking about redraft, so I agree. Fabian Marquez, what's going on, man? Good to see you, as always. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well tonight. Right back at you, man. Things are good over here. Things are good. Appreciate you asking. Alias said, how serious are Alec Pierce's and Josh Downs' injuries? Alec Pierce's is starting to look serious. Josh Downs, from what I understand, it's mostly precaution, like what they're doing right now, which I can appreciate at this time of year. Alec Pierce's is starting to look a little serious. I just saw, literally 5 minutes before I came on live, that he got an injection in his ankle again, which injections, when you get an injection, that's usually not a good sign that something's healing properly. I remember when Micah Parsons had the back injury, he was getting injections on that thing, and it was definitely minimizing what he could do on the field. Now, Alec Pierce, I don't think is as tough as Micah, so I don't know if he's planning to play through it. It's also different because he needs that ankle. He's so, he wants to be a more precise route runner, stuff like that. It affects his speed. There's differences between the two injuries. I'm not trying to compare them. What I'm saying, though, is that injections of any kind, that's not a good thing to hear when you're about a month out from playing a real football game. The Alec Pierce thing I am definitely getting leery of. Fred ZZN. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Would you rather have the 108 or the 109 in a 10-man league? I would rather have the 109 because you're closer to the turn. And I can justify doing my ADP jumps and just going double hero. I hate the 108 pretty much in any format. I mean, the 108 in this 10-man league, like, I've been able to put together a pretty good team, but in general, I'm not as big on the prospect of the 108 versus the 109 just because you're farther from the turn. Fabian Marquez, quick question. I have often found that drafting from the 103 can be challenging in a 12-man redraft league this year. Many times, no running backs or Bowers make it back to you. It's all about how you look at things, though, right? Like, the 103 is awesome for me because just because you're not getting one of those, like, I know what you mean with the running backs. There's a wave of them that go, and it is like, you kind of feel like you missed out on it a little bit. But the bottom line is you don't have to build your team double hero running back all the time or even hero running back. Like, you can get in the third round, if Love is there, I have no issue taking Jeremiah Love. I think he's a good third-round pick. Alec Pierce here again. Oh, man. Making it a little tempting for me, I got to be honest with you. I think I'm going to pass again. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to go Jordan freaking Mason, I think. Jordan Mason, do something. You probably won't, though. No, I think I think that it's all about how you look at it because you can get some really good receivers back there and just create a really strong receiver room with Jamar or if you wanted to go with Puka, I'm not going to fight you on it. And then you could build out a really good, running back room round 3 on. So I think you're just looking at it a little bit too rigid as far as like your desire to get a running back in round 2. I don't think you need to look at it like that. You just need to be able to play best available player on the board. And that's a scenario where you let the draft come to you. Because if you did, you'd be able to build out a really good receiver room rather than reaching on a running back. And when it comes to Bowers, that's fine. Like I like Bowers, but you can recover from that. Yeah, Pierce went. You know what I was hoping for? The reason I didn't take Pierce was because I was going to take either him or Trey Tucker. They both freaking went. Screw you guys. Oh, my plan backfired on me. That's okay. It's really not, but that's okay. We'll go Jaden Reed here. I got no issue with Jaden Reed in the 12th. Jeb T, you're crushing it, man. Love the videos, streams especially. What do you think the schedule looks like once the regular season starts? Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So, yeah, the reason I stepped out of the room was I was talking to my wife. And so I've been kind of alluding to this for a little bit here. It's been the best year of my life. So we are, my wife is pregnant and we're expecting a baby in November. So I have been trying to figure out when to say that because it's going to definitely affect things for a little bit there. Like it's a boy, and we are expecting him to come in November, and so basically everything's going to be normal up until that point. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm on top of things. There'll be videos twice a day most days, and I'll be streaming most of the week. But once we get to November, things might get a little weird. Things might get a little bit interesting. So I've been planning on telling you guys that. I just didn't know how to tell. I didn't know, when I was going to say it, how I was going to say it. But yeah, that's the news, is that I've been kind of alluding to it all offseason. It's been a great offseason. Best year of my life. It was the best news to get. And so we're really excited. But yeah, it'll probably affect things there for a little bit in November. But yeah, it's pretty exciting news for sure. We're really excited. We're very excited for sure. All right, back to the draft. Back down to business here. We had a lot of drop-off just as I made the news. Nah, man, it's cool. It's cool. It's pretty great news for sure. Now, at this range, you guys take my freaking Trey Tucker from me, and now I'm depressed. I'm going to go with Tyrone Tracy for no particular reason whatsoever. Oh. Excuse me. And then we will go with a kicker and a defense in this one, just to give you guys a little sneak peek. But yeah, Jeb, to answer your question, yeah, that's the reason I said it right now, is because I've been asked a couple times about it. I kind of had to dance around it. I've been dancing around it for a little bit. So yeah, I'm really excited. But yeah, probably will make November sometimes a little bit. It could get a little tricky there for a little bit in November, but I'm going to do my very best. To keep putting out content for you guys, but hopefully you guys understand. I appreciate all the support, guys. Grish Nation, Frank Linares, Coffee Holic, Razor's Edge, Alias, all you guys. Thank you guys. Fabian, Mikado, Alias, Javi Pavi, appreciate all you guys. Most of you guys have been here with me throughout the whole summer, and you've been kind of listening to me dance around it a little bit. And when I'd say I had good news, I wouldn't really answer it, but I appreciate the support, man. I really, really do. It's been a great year. It's been a great year. ATL Outdoors says, I feel like I am the only Marv believer left. Marv is just an enigma, man, because I feel burned by him personally, and I know I'm not the only one who said that he was extremely talented, but when you call a guy a generational talent like I did, and it's just, you don't even see, you see little glimpses of it here and there, but it's never sustained, and that's my biggest problem with Marv, is that if we've been getting really good information on him for a long time, then, that's just not the case, though. The case with him this offseason has pretty much looked the same. And I just prefer Michael Wilson. That's just where I stand on it. Mikado, man, appreciate your super chat. Very much appreciated. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I kind of speechless about it. When we first got the news, it was one of the most surreal moments of my life, and we're just very excited. We're very, very excited, man, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But we're going to do our best. I am going to do my very best to keep putting out content as much as possible. I'm going to do my very best. Everything's going to be normal up until then. Going to continue to do it throughout August, September, October. November comes, it might get a little quirky there for a little bit, but we're not going to leave you guys hanging. From November on, we're not just leaving you hanging. It'll just be something to maneuver around, if that makes sense. We got a defense. Let's go ahead and grab a kicker here. I am always down for a Kaimi Fairbairn. I love that offense for a kicker. And that's it. I honestly, at the 108, I am not unhappy with this team whatsoever. Now, not unhappy with this team whatsoever. And yeah, man. Yeah, it's really, really cool. My mind is gone elsewhere. But let's lock back in. We're going over to Underdog now to do an Underdog draft. So let's go ahead and do this. Again, link is in the chat for Underdog. If you want to join, just sign up using code FFR and get yourself a free copy of the draft guide when you play. Now, the Little Dalmatian closed, so we are locked into the puppy tonight. We're going into the puppy draft tonight, and it's a $5 entry, super cheap, 100K to first place. So let's get her done by starting the countdown at 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you say? Is it puppy time or is it puppy time? Because I think it's puppy time. We're waiting on 7 people, too. We might be able to get a good amount of people in on this one. Let's see. Alias says, QJ been looking solid in practice. Yeah, man. QJ, I've been in on the QJ breakout for a long time this offseason, to be honest. I think he is definitely a breakout candidate for sure. I'm very interested to see the QJ breakout. Alias, man, appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat. Cheers to your babies. Oh my gosh, can't even talk. Cheers to your baby, Steeler. Mo, he's going to be a Steelers fan for sure. He's going to be a Steelers fan. I will at some point reveal his name. We're still non-committal on it. I'm not going to reveal it right now. At some point we will, but if he's named what we think he's going to be named, it'll be fitting in a sense from a Steelers fan's perspective. No, I appreciate the support, man. Very much appreciated. Razor's Edge, good to see you in here. What's your overall best value in best ball? Hope all is well. Trey Tucker, next question. I think Trey Tucker's a fantastic value, man. I really don't think it gets much better. I think the guy is destined to be a top 30 wide receiver, and he's being drafted nowhere near there. So I think he's an impact player in not only best ball, but also redraft as well. We got large margin here at the 102. It's good to have you in here. I'm at the 104. Maybe I can get Puka. I don't have much Puka. We've got Hot Rod in here at the 110. So let's freaking do this. TSB World, what's going on? I'm drafting from the 4 spot, and I love my team. Oh, 104 is a great place to be, man. It is a great place to be. You can't go wrong with the 104. Trust me. You can build some nice teams at the 104. Alias, how long till Debo gets injured now that he's back on the Niners? Morbidly, you'd have to wonder how soon, right? Because I mean, substation, Debo's had an injury history. It probably won't take long. I mean, it really depends how much they use him. And if they continue to get injuries every day, then they're probably going to need him, and then they probably will injure him. So, yeah, man, he's not the best fantasy investment this year. I had more excitement with him going to like a Miami. From a fantasy perspective in San Fran, not as excited. The Mikado said, Big Ben said Steelers could score 30 a game. I know that's silly, but they definitely going to be better this year. I'm leaning Dowdle as a must draft. Which Steeler do you expose yourself to? Just the way that was worded was so good. Okay, you said they definitely could be better. Yeah, I am expecting them to be offensively better this year. I am personally expecting that. I'm leaning Dowdle as the running back there. The Steelers receiver I have the most exposure to is definitely Pittman. I think Pittman is definitely a guy that is going to be involved on a weekly game plan basis. Whereas with DK, DK I have actually gotten more interested in targeting. there's been news out of camp that says, like, he said it himself that they were moving him around the formation a lot more. So, you know, that part is very interesting. I do think that that's good, that there's going to be more motion this year. But as far as I'm concerned, Pittman is just more of a target hog than DK is. That's just not DK's game. So Pittman, for me, is the guy I've liked to get. TSB World. Wanted Tate, but I wasn't mad at Fannin. Hey, how can you be mad at Fannin, right? Fannin's a good pick. GoldenEye. Good to see you, man. How did you get Kraft that late? He's been going early 7th. Yeah, felt like I got a couple good values in that draft. Feel like I'm really behind on this live chat. The news kind of put us behind the 8 ball in the chat, but I'm trying to catch up. What are we doing here? Well, if Achane were to make it back to us, I definitely have no issue with that. I also have no issue going receiver here. I don't think I'm going to get Achane. He's about to be auto-drafted. Yep, he was. Achane gets auto-drafted. If AJ's there, I'm going AJ. Yeah, I mean, AJ is definitely... even though I've got Rashee Rice higher in my rankings, I'm going to start to bank on him dropping a little bit because camp news has not been great on Rashee Rice. I'll buy the dip. I'll buy the dip personally. Alias said, bro took our tray. I know, man. Coffeeholic stole him right out from under me. Blake Hunting and Fishing, it's good to have you in here, man. Coffeeholic, I knew you were looking for your boy Tucker. Whenever I'm drafting solo, I can always get him in the 150 to 160 range on Underdog. Yeah, sometimes you know what you got to do. You got to go above ADP in these roundup drafts to get to your boy Trey Tucker. You got to do what you got to do. I love Trey Tucker. He's my guy, dude. I'm going Jeremiah Love here, and I'm not thinking twice. I'll take the dip on Jeremiah Love. That's another guy I'll buy the dip on. Grish Nation, appreciate you again. Franklin Aris, appreciate that. Coffeeholic said, that's awesome, man. Congratulations to you and your wife. Very much appreciated, man. We're both very excited for it. It's been, I'll tell you this, it's been it's already been, a lot of changes. I've had to, we've been, preparing the nursery and everything like that, cleaning out stuff, which used to be the guest room. It's now becoming the nursery. It's been a lot. I'll say that for sure. But it's awesome. It's the best possible change you could ever have in life. So, I'm excited. Razor's Edge, appreciate you again. Alias, congrats on the pregnancy. Oh, I didn't do anything. I'm just a bystander. I appreciate that. Fabian, appreciate you. Mikado says, congrats, bro. Being a dad is the best. I got 4. You're going to crush dad life. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much. Is his name going to be Chuba? That would be something, wouldn't it? Oh my God. I can't. If we name him what I think I'm going to name him, you guys are going to eat it up. You're going to eat it up. I'm telling you right now. Alias said, have you ever thought about names? How about B. Ryan? No. He's not going to be named B. Ryan. I will reveal the name at some point. Stay tuned. Javi Pavi, that's awesome, man. Congrats. Appreciate that. Jeff Jordan, congrats, Holmes. Need that content, though. I will do my best. Like I said, not leaving you guys hanging. At some point, if I miss a couple days, I'll be back. Literally the only thing I'm thinking of is when we're in the hospital. I'm not taking leave, right? I'm not going to be gone for the rest of the season. The only thing I can think of is when we're in the hospital, when she's actually giving birth, and then when we need to, be there at the hospital after he's born. That's the only time that I can think I'm going to be out for. So, but I'm going to do my best. But if anything, that's worst case scenario for content-wise. La Liza, good to see you in here. How you doing? Congratulations. You made an interesting comment a few weeks ago. Been waiting for the announcement. See, I feel like girls know it. I feel like you can't get it past women. Like, I feel like guys would just be like, I don't even know what he meant by that. They wouldn't think twice about it. With girls, if you say that, they're like, oh, there's something coming. And you're right. You're smarter than us for sure. I really appreciate that. Like I said, we're pretty excited. Like, it's been an awesome year. I don't usually talk about my personal life, but I felt like that one needed to tell you guys because it's a huge deal, life-changing, and like I said, it might affect, a couple days during November. Let's see. We didn't even nail down a strategy we were looking to use, which is... That's fine. Josh Allen... I mean, he fell this far. There's no way I can even pass that up. That's like impossible to pass up. Yeah. There's no debating what I do when Josh Allen falls to the 408. That's pretty great. I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day of the freaking week, man. Is there a strategy, though, that I have for this? This might be a new one. This very well could be a new strategy right here that I'm building. Wide receiver, running back, quarterback is what I have done. Wide receiver, running back, quarterback. Yeah, I don't see anything right now. This might be a new addition to the group right here of draft strategies. So anyone who's got access to the sheet, you're going to get another one tonight. Either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. But it'll be in there cuz I don't think I have anything like this. No, this is going to be completely new. So I'm just going to freeball this one from here on out. And I got to tell you, Mike is very attractive in this range as well. And Mike is ranked higher than DJ and Rome. I'm going to go ahead and take Mike here. So we went with, we're going to start an entire new row. Wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, running back 1, quarterback 1, wide receiver 3. There we go. And so we're free balling. Let's figure it out as we go. And guys, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Would really appreciate y'all's support very, very much. GoldenEye, is it just me or is this a thing? Top 5 quarterbacks gone, and once the first quarterback of the next tier goes, people panic and like 4 or 5 quarterbacks go right after. I don't think I've ever noticed that. I can't lie about that. I feel like now that you mention it, maybe sometimes that happens. It does always kind of feel like the dam needs to break on like quarterbacks, particularly because after Joe, Lamar, then it becomes kind of a free-for-all, and that can kind of, start things off with the free flow of quarterbacks. I've never thought about it, though. I've never really noticed it until you said it. Alias said, what if your son comes out as a Browns fan when he becomes a teenager? He will be whipped into shape, I can tell you that. We don't raise losers around here, son. Coffeeholic. Wow, Eliza, glad I wasn't the only one who noticed. Okay, so Coffeeholic noticed too. Maybe it's probably just me. I'm like one of those types of guys that you could tell me something and I have no detail. Like, I am not a detail-oriented guy. Like, there's several times where, like, my wife will change something in the house. She's like, hey, do you notice the change? It's like, oh, yeah, it looks great. It's like, I have no idea. Or, like, I'll go to my parents' house, and my mom will be like, you notice anything different? It's like a game for her at this point. It's probably just me. Alias said, all of us can agree we like exposing ourselves to Trey Tucker and Woody Marks as much as possible. Yes. Yes, we will go with that. We'll go with that choice of words right there. That's terrific. GoldenEye, I'm going to do a Yahoo mock and draft Trey Tucker 101 and still get a great team. Well, I mean, that's a given because he's already a great start out at the 101, so you're going to be golden if you do that, man. You're going to be golden, let me tell you. Well, I tell you what, I feel like Tucker Kraft, I might be able to get him back, but I'd rather just take him now. It might have been not the best move. But I'm thinking running back here, and I don't feel like getting Pollard in the 6th. If I get him in the 7th, I'm fine with that. If I don't get him, I'll take Rico as well. And I'm also good with Chuba. I think my thing with Pollard in this one is that I don't want to have 2 running backs on potentially 2 bad teams. But all 3 of these backs here are not exactly sure if they're going to be on great teams. I think RJ Harvey actually might be the best pick. I might go with RJ here. Let's see. Let's see what happens. All the running backs are still available. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take RJ Harvey here, actually. Gluten Gremlin. That's a name, man. Good to see ya. Question. I am playing in an 8-man league, and I have the 4th pick. I usually have Hampton and Genty available in the 2nd round to take. Which one is better? We are playing full PPR. You have the 4th pick, usually have Hampton and Genty available in the 2nd. Yeah, Hampton is definitely my preferred. I've been saying this all offseason. The thing I like about Hampton that Genty doesn't have is the ability to finish as the RB1. And I'm not saying it's likely that it'll happen. I'm saying that his pathway is clear because he's on a better offense, running behind a better offensive line. And not that the Raiders haven't gotten better as a unit. They have, for sure. But there's more offensive upside with Los Angeles. I think Hampton is going to take a workhorse role this year. So for me, Hampton is the one that I'm taking. It's good to see you. Vegeta Super Saiyan. Good to see you, man. How you doing? In a 3-flex keeper, would you keep Tyler Warren as your 8th or Judkins as the 9th? 6-point passing touchdown. Looking at last year, everyone drafts quarterbacks rounds 3 to 4. What will be your strategy? I have pick 10 in a 12-man league. Well, I would rather keep Tyler Warren as my 8th. I think that Tyler Warren, I like Judkins too, and he's around later, but I think Tyler Warren has higher upside, so I'd keep Tyler Warren. 6-point passing touchdown, it does change things a little bit, but actually not really, because there's going to be late-round quarterbacks that you can get and just scoop up there after everyone's done it that are still going to be heavy passing touchdown guys like Stafford, Jared Goff, Tyler Shuck could be a good name on that list as well. You could get Brock Purdy potentially. I think he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns this year with Mike. I think there's a lot of guys that if you follow the trend of all the guys in that league getting quarterbacks early, then it's just going to be like any other draft where you're better to zig when other people are zagging. So if you know everyone in your league is going quarterback round 4 and 5 and you can still get some values late, I would rather do that and take the running back and the wide receiver values that fall to you. So that's my advice to you in that situation. And especially, especially with 6-point passing touchdown, people think that that means they have to go early quarterback. It doesn't mean that. Because the thing with 6-point passing touchdowns is guys like Jared Goff, who can throw for a lot of touchdowns but don't run, well, they close the gap on guys like Lamar, who doesn't always throw as many touchdowns, but he runs a lot historically. two Cardinals doesn't sound great. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to go with Monungai here. Get another running back. It's a good question, though. Michael 7226. What's going on? Why Love instead of Williams? Williams is in a much better situation. Well, the reason I like Love over Williams is because Love's just a better talent. Like, there's a couple reasons. Number one, he's the better talent. Number two is because if you look at running backs historically that are rookies, and especially with running backs of his type of draft capital, which is insane, you just don't see these types of guys in the third round much. Like, with him, he's in a situation where people are already baking in the risk with the cost. Like, if you look at Genti last year, the reason Genti was a bad pick is because he was a first-round pick for many people. That didn't return value because he was the RB14. Well, Love is being drafted as the RB13. So if that's his area right there that he finishes, he's returning value for me. So I just think with Kyron, he's got a ceiling, and I'm not saying Love doesn't, but Love to me is just a better player, and one that I could see, maybe being involved in the passing game a little bit more, and also ripping off a couple more big runs than Kyron does. Well, Purdy is definitely intriguing here. It's probably not smart. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Bill here. I want to continue to build out my running backs. I feel really safe with my receivers. In a perfect world, I would get Purdy there to stack, but having Allen in the fourth just makes this team feel so OP all of a sudden. It really does. Also, there are probably not too many Puka Josh Allen teams. No, that's probably a lie. There's probably not many Love and Josh Allen teams. That one is true. Vegeta Super Saiyan, what's up? Not too much, man. Just announced some news tonight, but hopefully you're doing good. Adrian Martinez, congratulations. I know you'll be a great dad. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that very much. It's like I said, it's been pretty crazy. Been pretty crazy year, but craziest in the best possible way. Like, I remember telling people over summer, like, I've got good news. It's the best possible news. And people were like, what's going on? And I wasn't saying anything, but yeah, it's great. Coffeeholic, LOL, who would want to become a Browns fan all of a sudden? No offense to any potential Browns fans in here, but just why? Unless you're a masochist. Yeah, unless you're a masochist or you grew up in Cleveland, then it doesn't make sense. If you grew up in Texas, why would you become a Browns fan? If anything, if he wants to be a Cowboys fan, he can do whatever he wants to do. But Browns fan, we got to have a discussion. Alias said, honestly, looking at it outside of being a Raiders fan, for the price I wouldn't hate going for Hampton instead of Genti. No, Hampton, yeah, I love Hampton, man. Hampton, to me, is just the better upside player. I'm not saying Genti doesn't have, like, top 5 upside. I think he does. But I definitely think that Hampton is one of the few guys outside of the first. No, that's not true. Cam Scadaboo is one of the few guys outside of the first 2 rounds that I think has running back 1 upside, but as far as the group that's in his range, like, I don't see that with Chase Brown. I don't see that with James Cook. I don't see that with Henry at this point. I don't see that with Kenneth. Maybe Saquon. Maybe I can make the case. But with Hampton, like, I think there's a real case, and I've been making it all offseason. Coffeeholic, is your son's middle name going to be Trey or Woody? I'm just messing, man. If only you knew, dude. If only you freaking knew. You'll find out at some point. You'll find out. Vegeta, 12 team, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Kraft, Egbuka, T, Scadaboo, Texans defense, Both kicker and Texans defense. Okay, gotcha. Um, Benches Josh Downs, Michael Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Tyson, Kittle, Ray Davis, Jake Tonjes. Grade, please. That's a strong team right there. I would have to say that's probably probably give it a solid 7. That's a good team. All right, let's get serious again. If Stafford makes it, I could definitely stack him with Puka and have no issue with that at all. But if I don't get him, then it is what it is. I think I'm at the point where I wouldn't want to take Rachaad White because I've got Bill. So Stafford is gone. That's a bummer, but we'll live. You know who I'm sniffing around here for sure. Tyler Shuck definitely has potential to be on my team. I don't have a problem with it. Although getting Kincaid benefits this team more right now. So I'm going to go with Kincaid first and foremost. And we're either going to go Tyler Shuck and hope and pray that Trey Tucker makes it back to us, or we're going to go ahead and just pull the trigger on Trey Tucker. Just got him higher in my rankings than everybody else in his range right here, and I don't think I'm convinced he will make it back to me with somebody like Hot Rod waiting in the wings. Do I want to punt a little bit longer? I'm going to wait. I'm going to go Tyler Shuck and be done with quarterbacks. Trey Tucker, slide through the cracks, baby. Come on now. Alias said, differences between the Chargers offense and Raiders offense, though, is that when healthy, the Chargers O-line is shown to be better, unless that changes this year. Well, the Raiders offensive line will be better. Like, it definitely will be. One of the things you love about offensive coaches is that when they take over as head coach, they always fix the offensive line first. Like, that is across the board. So, yeah, man, I just think that when it comes down to it, the Chargers offensive line is being talked about this summer like they're a garbage unit. And if people, like more casual people, I understand it because you didn't watch and you didn't see, or you watched, but you didn't see all the players that were injured. I mean, with everyone healthy again this offseason, they already made improvements to the interior, which was really their problem. So I think the Chargers offensive line is a top 10 unit this year if they're all healthy. The Raiders, probably top 15, 17. They're getting there, but they're not there yet. The Raiders are just a year away in a lot of facets, man. But I like the direction, that's for sure. 3S Garage, good to see you, man. How you doing today? Alias said, and most people would say the Chargers have a higher quantity of playmakers than just Hampton, including their quarterback. Yes, I would definitely say so. Now, I will say that the thing about the Raiders is they don't have tons of weapons, but 2 of them are high-octane players. Obviously, Bowers and Genty, we all believe he's a great player. The Chargers, you could look at that team and say, we think Hampton could be one of those types of guys. We don't know. We know Ladd isn't. We know QJ isn't. We know Gadsden isn't. We know at this point Njoku isn't. We don't know anything about Trey Harris. The Raiders have less depth of playmakers, but the Raiders' playmakers, the 2 that they have, and I think Trey Tucker finds his way into that group as a strong 3, they're really good. They're just in a tough division this year, that's all. With the Raiders, however, most look at them as the only 2 playmakers are Bowers and Genty. Not that I agree with that, but for all those reasons, Genty will almost always go higher than Hampton. Not when I'm around. Hampton will definitely go higher for me, but I see your point. Razor's Edge. McCaffrey news today, missed practice, overall tightness. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. The reason I don't think that's that big of a deal, I mean, it just goes into the larger narrative of the 49ers this summer. Like, that's really all it does. The injury itself, not that big of an issue for me, so I don't think that's what's going to take McCaffrey down this year. Alias said, with all that said, I can definitely see Hampton finishing higher than Genty this season. Yeah, I personally think it will happen, but I'm not throwing shade at Genty. Genty is a player that I like a lot. I think Genty's a great player. Can you make it? Can you make it back to me, Trey Tucker? The funny thing is, no one else cares about him except me and the people in my audience. That's the real threat, is if they get their hands on him, but Niner 4949 feels like a familiar name, but he didn't do it. So, thank you. Now I'm getting Trey Tucker, and I'm very happy with myself. Super happy with myself. You know who I don't have much of? And it would make sense for this build, because I do want 3 tight ends. If Juwan Johnson's there, I have not gone with much of him, but I will go with him here. I will do it. Coffeeholic, I did want to address something that you said down there in the comments. I do appreciate what you said about the website. I just want to make an announcement to anybody who is was thinking about getting a subscription on my site this year. I'm going to advise you don't do that. We are having some issues with the site, and we don't want people to, sign up and have issues. So please do not sign up at my site. Don't worry about it this year. We're going to try to see if we can recover at some point, but right now, please do not plan on signing up for the site. As far as I know, if you already have a membership, it's working good, but we don't feel comfortable enough to take on more volume at this moment in time. But I do appreciate you dropping that in there. I know you're just trying to give people the good word, but I just want to let people know that right now, we don't want people signing up. Gluten Gremlin, I love that name. Even with Mike McDaniel coming out and saying that Chargers will be a committee of backs, no, I'm not worried about that. He didn't even say committee. He basically just said, yeah, I'm going to use all 3 of those guys. And I've said this before, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Mike McDaniel very well might want to use all 3 of them, but I think if Hampton is really, really good, which I think he is, then it's going to be hard to justify taking him off the field for Kamani Vidal. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that my belief in Hampton is so strong as a player. I loved the prospect, and I think the offense is set up for success for him. I'm not particularly worried about it now. GoldenEye, I might try targeting a quarterback wide receiver stack in my league that has 6-point passing touchdown. I keep thinking back to last year. I hesitated in grabbing Stafford to stack with Puka, and eventually someone else got him. Keep thinking about the last year. Yeah, dude, I would definitely... stacking in general is a great way to do things. If you're going any type of format, I think stacking is advantageous. 6-point passing touchdown, it definitely makes it more advantageous, I would say. But I think, honestly, I think the best strategy, like really to go with in 6-point, is when you're in a 6-point league, especially if it's the first year, people are going to be like, oh, it's 6-point pass touchdown. That must mean we need to value quarterbacks more. And there's going to be this overcorrection period where people are going to go grab quarterbacks early. And you said it yourself, everybody's going quarterback early. So I just think that it's smart to wait on quarterback, particularly in that, because the gap is being closed between guys like Goff, who don't move but can throw a lot of touchdowns, and guys like Lamar or Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts, who do move, but don't always throw a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, man, I feel like I don't have much Kamara either. I want this team to be a little unique, I will say. I am interested in building this team a little unique. Feel really good about my first 4 receivers. Feeling good about this team. Ever since I got Josh Allen at the 409, feeling pretty good about myself. Vegeta Super Saiyan, GoldenEye, definitely agree with you on that strategy. It's a redraft. Yep. Jalen Hurts was my QB1. Patrick was my QB2 with that 12 team. Sorry if I'm blowing up the comments. Dude, don't even worry about it, man. You're not being a spammer. Dude, you're just excited, like you said, about fantasy football. That's the energy that we want in here. We want that energy. What do we want to do? I would definitely have to say if Samson is available. I do like that. I am into the idea of getting Dylan Sampson. Yeah, I don't like the receivers around this range. I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson here. And that'll be it on running backs. I think 6 is definitely good for this. We'll go receivers to round it out. Alias said, although they haven't really expressed it yet, if the Raiders are confident in Mike Washington or another running back, I'm sure they will try to split carries if possible. Not a 50-50 split, but maybe a 65-35 split. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly indifferent on what I think they could do there. I think that, obviously the recent history on Clint Kubiak would suggest that he wants to utilize 2 running backs. I think if you actually look at it a little bit deeper, you look at his father, right? Gary Kubiak was a longtime great offensive coach in the NFL. When he had Arian Foster, he used Arian Foster. My point in saying that is that if you're gifted with a great RB talent like Foster was, and like I think Genty is, I don't think you're going to go out of your way too much to split carries with guys. Now, if Genty's got a hampered ankle in week 7, then yeah, maybe Mike Washington or someone else gets more carries, but I'm not scared off at this point by the committee idea with Genty. Coffeeholic says, I don't know how many we addressed this one. Alias said, people in the fantasy space who do underdog drafts, not taking Trey Tucker more surprised me a little. Well, Trey Tucker has always been kind of a best ball favorite because of the upside games. He proved it last year, right? He can hit those big upside games, but I've been saying all offseason, this guy's a redraft player this year too. He is. Giving Brock Bowers a 36% target share, like Kubiak did with JSN last year, it's just not going to happen. 30%? Sure. 36%? Not happening. Vegeta Super Saiyan, do you think Baker would make a great second quarterback in 6-point passing? He's played pissed off and wants a contract. Everyone is healthy. I think he could have a 2024 season. Yeah, Baker's not a bad idea. I mean, I would prefer Shuck if he's going around that range. I'm also good with getting Cam Ward. Now, Cam Ward in a 6-point passing touchdown, actually not ideal. Either Baker or Shuck. If it's me, I prefer Shuck. He's got better weapons. But Baker's I think he's a solid pick as well. I just think Shuck, honestly, could really do good this year. Like, I started out not hot on the guy. I've really gotten on him in the last several weeks. Cyrus Allen, just taking more shares of this guy just to give myself some level of exposure to him if he does anything, which maybe he's just this offseason's Dante Thornton. No offense, Alias. Coffeeholic, what do you think of the Steelers' O-line? You know, the funny thing is, man, the Steelers' O-line has had talent for years. And it's been a direct result of coaching why they've been so bad. Like, they have, under Tomlin, they had no feel for offense, no feel for development on both sides of the ball, by the way. So now that it's McCarthy, I actually have more interest and more faith that it'll get better. Now, I personally think if we're really diving in the trenches here, I think what they did to Broderick Jones is a disgrace. I think they should be arrested for that. Like, that was a crime, wasting that level of talent, and I don't think he'll ever be the same. When it comes to Fautanu, he can be saved. Like, Troy Fautanu can be saved, and you have Max, our first-round pick this year. He hasn't been screwed up yet, so I actually do kind of like the offensive line. And I'd have a little bit more faith that they'll get better this year with McCarthy rather than under Tomlin if that was still the case. Mike Tomlin sucks. Yeah, Keon Coleman, we're going to go ahead and take the shot on this joker. See if he can be anything this year. Guys, I'm in a good mood today, so I'll tell you this. If we get this up to, we need to get it up to 25 likes, and I'll do another draft after this. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm definitely willing to do another one, but we need 25 likes, so get that like number up. Like the video, subscribe. Dante Demora, always good to see you, man. Thank you as always for being a loyal member of the Roundup family. And speaking of that, there's a lot of interesting developments in the membership tier in the Roundup family, man. We are going to offer exclusive start-sit live streams for members this year in the membership, in the start-sit tier. So if you want to avoid the traffic on Sunday mornings and get your questions answered a little earlier on Sunday morning, then that is a tier for you to consider for sure. Alias, I don't think it will be a split quite like Gibbs and Monty, but I think it could be similar to how Kenneth and Charbonnet were used. Not just because that's where Kubiak came from. Well, if that was the case, then Ashton Jeanty would be a disaster this year. If that was the case, he would be a disaster because you saw what it did to them in Seattle, just on a better offense. And if that was the case with him and Mike Washington this year, yikes. Look out for Ashton Jeanty. I just don't see that, though, personally. Dante Demora, how are you feeling about Rome with the Burden news? I feel like you probably covered this already. I haven't covered Rome specifically. I mean, really not much has changed on my thoughts on Rome, to be honest. I think that the way I think about Rome is the same. Now, when it comes to Luther Burden, I did cover this yesterday, which is I am a little concerned about him moving forward. And the reason why is because if you look at like groin injuries, those things can, if you get one early, sometimes they linger. And even if he doesn't re-injure it and like miss time, it could hamper him, especially at the start of the season. So as far as I'm concerned, like doors are open for Rome, but they have been all year for me. Like I've always thought that, you know, Luther and Rome are going to both have great opportunities this year with DJ Moore gone. So not much has changed on either guy, to be honest. I'm a little bit more leery of getting, of like really hammering Luther Burden because I've actually been drafting him more lately. I'm more leery of that, but when it comes to Rome, I wouldn't say I'm like more in on him. I just have always been big on Rome. I've always been above consensus on him. So I'm not going to go further up the list just because of this injury. Yeah, let's go ahead and target a New Orleans stack with Tyler Shuck. We're going to go ahead and take Devon Vele here instead of Bryce Lance. We're trying to even out that exposure rate. But there we go. That is this team right here. Let's see how many likes we're at right now and if we're running another one. We got 27 likes. There we go. Everybody, keep dropping those likes. Let's get that number up to 30. But we are going to do another one. We're going to hop back into the puppy right here. So we're getting back into the puppy 3. It's still wide open. Again, just a $5 draft. There's a link in the chat. If you do want to join us on Underdog for this draft, we'd love to have you. Just a $5 entry on this one. If you use code FFR, I'll throw in a free copy of the Redraft Draft Guide. But let's start the countdown. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get into the puppy 3, man. Once again, another one. 6 people we're waiting on. Let's get this one full. Goldeneye, it would have to be like a stacking Caleb Odunze, Pickens, Dak, even Rice Mahomes. Yeah, man, I think those are all good opportunities to take at cost. Alias said, but if taking how Clint Kubiak ran the offense in Seattle, I'm expecting them to make the effort to do something similar with Genty and another running back, such as Mike Washington maybe. Part of the problem, though, although it's only been one season, Genty is obviously a different type of player than Kenneth, and probably especially not as injury prone, so who knows. That's been my whole thing with this one. Look, I like Kenneth. I do think Kenneth is a good play. In like the back of the second round in drafts this year, early third. And you can get him there on like ESPN particularly. But when it comes to targeting Kenneth in like the early second, I don't like that because of the fact that Kenneth has never done workhorse running back stuff. Like Genty last year, say what you will, the guy was the workhorse. And I think he's just an overall better player than Kenneth Walker is. So I'm just not as worried about, like I said, I just think about it like this. If when Gary Kubiak, his father, had Arian Foster, he used Arian Foster. Period, end of story. Genty's a great talent. So I'm just not as worried about the split. I'm really not. We got Mikado in here, M. Stockton as well, Steeler Nation in here, D's Nuts, we got June Bugs, and we got me at the 112. Steel Cat, I think I recognize too. Let's do it again, baby. Let's do it again. M. Stockton, good to see you. Ashton Genty is the next Maurice Jones-Drew. You're tripping. No way it's a 65-35 split. More like a 90-10 split, brother. I'm a Raider fan. Alias is too. Raiders fans in the chat. Dude, we have a lot of Raiders fans in my live streams. It's always fascinating. It is fascinating. I've culminated a good Raiders presence in these live drafts, I will say. It's good to see you. Tyler Showlog. What's going on? How do you join public mock drafts? Been trying to find. Well, when I'm live, if you have a sleeper account, if you don't have one, it's free to set up. It's no charge. But join us on our next sleeper draft. We do these every day. So anytime, like if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you get notified when I'm going live. I always post the link to the mock draft in the chat. So join us tomorrow. We'll be back. Let's see what we end up with here. JJ and CD go, so that's fine. I get Hampton, and I'm going to go ahead and just take Achane. I'm going to stick with my rankings here. Alias said, I think a lot of it depends on how Mike Washington or any running back looks in camp. It just depends. I could see it being 90-10, but if the talent is there, I feel like Clint will use it. But Genty is a beast too, so it's difficult to say. Yeah, man. I do think I started out the offseason more concerned with it. I have really ended the offseason not as concerned. I will say that. I've ended it not as concerned. Vegeta, you think Egbuka will be the guy for Baker? I do, 100%. Will he be the wide receiver and best as ADP? I think he could end up a second-round pick next year if he works out. I think if he works out like I think, he'll be a back of the first pick. I do think he'll be Baker's guy. Now, next year, it's a little bit unpredictable, right? Like, if Baker leaves, what are they going to do at quarterback? That becomes a question mark about his draft cost. But Egbuka, I do think, is definitely the guy for Baker. Yes. Coffeeaholic, I hear you, man. I don't like Tomlin as a coach just as much as you. Dude's a Hall of Fame cheerleader, though. That he is. You know what the sad thing is, too, about Tomlin? Tomlin's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He's well-liked by the media, and those dunces are the ones who vote. That always chaps my ass when I think about it. Vegeta, best beat his ADP, I mean. And yes, yeah, I do think he'll do both. I think he'll beat his ADP and be the wide receiver one in Tampa. Alias said, Dante Thornton could still be good one day, just not his season probably. Hey, man. Why don't you just move on to Malik Benson? I actually liked Malik Benson as a prospect, low-key. So man, I feel like a Raiders fan sometimes. I just like the direction that they're going in. Fantasy football-wise, I think they could be a good team in a couple years. And I think they've got good options now. Speaking of Egbuka, he went at the 302, so he's pretty consistently going early. Mikado went ahead and grabbed Ladd at the 303. Jeremiah Love's still on the board. He's not making it back to me. I know that. Running back, start is what we pursued. There's a couple different ways we could go on this one. I mean, I might honestly go Josh Allen again if he's back. I could definitely go with the Josh Allen, Loveland situation and pursue this strategy that I like a lot. This is always a very strong one. The advance rates are so strong on this one. So, I don't have a problem doing that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Zay is falling, though. I will say, Zay falling. I think I am going to go with Zay here. And I'm going to go with Josh. I don't know if I have a strategy like this. Quarterback 4th round. Why do I feel like I do, actually? With this kind of start, do I? Quarterback 4th round. Where are you? No, it's not this start. We might have to build out a new one. Yeah, we might get 2 new ones in here tonight, honestly. Feeling like I'm enjoying some of these values that are falling to me right here. Running back, receiver, quarterback. is what we just went with. And I don't see anything that has that start. Yeah, I think we're going to have to just go from scratch. Again, that's all right with me. That is A-okay with me. Dante DeMora, BBM, or Puppy if it's still up. Puppy will be up for probably at least another week, I bet. Alias says, reports saying Kirko Chains was cooking in practice. I did hear that. Kirko Chains is, he's a treasure, man. I'll tell you what. That guy has the best agent in history. It's pretty nuts. Mr. Meatballs. Every time I see Mr. Meatballs, it elicits a laugh. Let's go, everyone. Drop a like. Listen to Mr. Meatballs. You guys know what to do. Vegeta, you think Ashton Genty could reach that 19 to 20 PR mark this year with his new setup versus his 14.5 PPR average last year? 19 to 20 points, I struggle to see that. I could see 17, maybe 16.8. 19 to 20 is a lot, man. I mean, you got to have a lot of things working in your favor. Like, honestly, there's so many similarities between him and Achan's situation that people just don't seem to acknowledge. Like, Achan's offense last year was terrible. He was terrible. Not him. His offense was terrible last year. And yet, he was averaging 18 points per game. So, like, that guy was so good in his situation that it was so rare to see that, honestly. The only other outlier I can think of was when Saquon was a rookie, and he had that insane rookie season with the Giants, who were terrible. I think it's hard to see 19 to 20 points for Genty. Now, 17 to, like, upper 16s, that is definitely reasonable. Alias said it's definitely possible. It's going to suck if both Betch and Thornton end up being major busts. That will suck, but at the same time, you can kind of just move on from that era. It's kind of like it's sad to think of Pete Carroll this way, but that year last year was like Urban Meyer with the Jags. Like, that was so bad. Pete Carroll, man. The good thing with Pete is that he has such a long history of success. That won't be his legacy. Won't be Urban's either, but from an NFL perspective, he was a disaster. Dante Namora says these late picks are tough. I know you went JJ, man. You went with it. You just said, screw it, I'm doing it. Coffee Alex said the Kubiak and the Shanahans always use their running backs. It's no secret. If the Kubiaks have a good one, they will. The difference between Kubiaks and Shanahans is that the Shanahans forced it. The Kubiaks, they didn't always force it. If they had to go multiple in a committee, they were willing to. But I think that they're well aware if we've got a talent like Genty, we'll use him and nobody else. Not nobody else, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Carnell Tate, I love that pick right there so much. I think Tate is a great pick in this range of the draft. And then, ordinarily, I wouldn't want to go with two rookies. I'm just feeling it today. Feeling something good today. We're going Jordan Tyson as well. We're going with both of the first-round rookie receivers. Nothing can stop us now. And we're free balling this one. I need to write this down. So, we went with running back start. RB1, RB2, wide receiver 1, QB1 in the 4th, and then wide receiver 2 in the 5th. So we'll plug those in later, either tonight or tomorrow, and anyone who's got access to this is going to get the update. If you want access, you can Venmo. It's for $12. Venmo Ryan, RYAN-PODNAR. for your lifetime access to the Best Ball Draft Guide. It's really a sick deal. Lifetime access, dude. We're just going to keep adding things to it. Alias says, Raiders fans, Steelers fans. I guess so. In our father's days, it probably wasn't like that, though. Raiders and Steelers used to have a wicked rivalry. Dante DeMora said, F it, JJ over Lamb. I can tell. Hey, man, exposures. Get the exposures up on some guys, right? I should probably take more Jefferson and CD, or not CD, McCaffrey. I've actually got a decent amount of CD. Alias said, Eagles fans are mean. Oh, yeah, they hate me, dude. The Eagles fans, their thing is like they think that everyone's always after them. I promise people, every time I talk about the Eagles players, I feel like I have to say I don't hate the Eagles because I don't. Like, I have no issue with the Eagles. But they certainly have a chip on their shoulder, that's for sure. And honestly, it makes it fun. Like, it makes it really fun. Dante DeMora trying to get more Barkley and Chase Brown. Yeah, I like that idea. I think Barkley is someone that I've actually gotten more on board with as time has gone on this offseason. GoldenEye, do you think Judkins will lose a step even after a full recovery? From what I'm seeing, he looks great. I mean, I'm not really worried about him. He's such an athlete at his young age. Honestly, and I'm not even worried about scat, but the guy I'd be more worried about is scat because he's not as explosive of an athlete as Judkins. So, I'm not particularly worried about Judkins. That's the least of my concerns with him. And I like Judkins this year, but as far as concerns about the offense, yeah, there's real concerns there. You know what I'm realizing is that I should have went with DJ Moore. No, he went earlier. Yeah, Junebugs got him. For some reason, I was thinking he was still available when I picked those two rookies, but he wasn't. I was going to say Kraft I could definitely go with. We're going to go with RJ Harvey again. Feels like a mistake to get Herbert. I just don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Wilson. Alias said, Chiefs fans aren't bad, but bandwagon fans specifically are annoying. There's plenty of them in Texas, actually. I mean, Mahomes has a Texas, roots, so there's plenty of bandwagon Chiefs fans around here. There are. Coffeeaholic said, how about those Swifties? Don't get me started, man. Don't get me going. Alias said, I mean, I don't really mind it, honestly. To me, it's whatever. I'm not a Swiftie fan, but I don't mind it either way. I think it's so annoying that they brought it to the NFL. It's so annoying when you're watching a Chiefs game and anything happens and they cut to Taylor Swift in the freaking box. I hate that so much. I hate it. I just want to watch football. GoldenEye seems like he agrees. There's people that bet on how many times they would pan to Swift during the game. I just want to watch football. Thank you. Yes, that's how I feel. Vegeta says, you think Saquon could be this year's Jonathan Taylor? They said he's lost weight from last year, and they said he's faster. Thoughts? Does he have one good season left? Like I said, I've gotten more and more on board with the idea of getting him this year. I think that his cost has really evened itself out from last year, and I'm okay with that because Saquon last year, I didn't like the cost. With my research about 350-plus touches, Saquon lost a ton of touches last year, and I think that the offensive line with Lane Johnson back is better. Now, there's some concerns there, but there was with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, based on the offense they had, no one expected him to do that. Like, the guy was on pace to be the RB1. Before Daniel Jones went down, he would have been the better back than McCaffrey. So Saquon definitely has some characteristics of that. I'm just more suspicious. And again, JT had his concerns, but the thing I'm suspicious of with Saquon is not about the player. The thing I'm suspicious of is their offense in general. I'm not, it's no secret, I'm not a huge Jalen Hurts guy from a quarterback perspective. Not arguing the guy's a winner. Eagles fans, don't attack. Just listen to what I'm saying. And also, when it comes to the new offensive coordinator, it's largely projection. Like, we just don't know enough about this guy to know if he's any better than Patullo last year. It's hard to be worse, though. That's what I will say. But I definitely like the cost of him this year. I've got no issue with it. No issue at all. All right. Pittman made it back this far. That's interesting. Was expecting him to go earlier. Definitely leaning towards... I'm going to go Wandale and try to target the Tennessee stack. And then Rachaad White, I'm also very much on board with taking. Penciled in as number 2 running back at camp. Still early, not that concerned. I've got more Bill anyways, so bring it on. Alias said, when I say bandwagon fans, I'm specifically referring to people who support whatever team is doing best and only for that reason. And they act like they're big fans even though they will switch teams. That's just how life works, man. People want to be a part of a winner. They'll jump to whatever's working and then sayonara when it's not. Every couple seasons, depending on whoever is considered best. Yeah, there's going to be people jumping off the Chiefs bandwagon here soon, probably. Because the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs will be better this year, but they're not. I don't see another Super Bowl run right now, at least. Can it happen later in Mahomes' career? Sure, but right now, I just don't think they have it loaded up enough to do it. Every couple seasons, depending on whoever is considered best. If Cousins cuts his hair at great clips, then it's good enough for me. Yeah. I'm for sure on board with Malik Benson, but I will root for all Raiders players for at least while they're still a Raider. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've been a very critical, pessimistic Steelers fan over the years, so I can't say I can relate, but I appreciate it when I see it. That's for sure. Coffeeholic, do you Raiders fans have the contact information to Kirk's agent? That's what we all want to know, because I was going to see if he could help me there, land a job as a CEO somewhere. Yeah, I'd like to know if he could just, put me in charge of something and I can, make a couple mil per year. That's all I'm asking for. A couple mil per year? What's wrong with that? His agent's a freaking legend, man. Alias said, with Geno last year, I supported him all year long, despite how much of a Jets player he looked like. But once he basically turned against the fans, then he lost my support, as well as whatever Raider. What'd he do to the fans? I don't remember. I wasn't locked in at that point on what the Raiders were doing on a weekly basis. I think I missed something here. But I've never been a Geno guy, so, good for me. I literally have not liked Geno Smith for a long time. Geno Smith, his past life got really overlooked. And I don't talk about personal stuff. I have nothing against the guy personally, although sometimes it doesn't seem like he's a great guy based on some reports this offseason. I'm talking about when he was on his rookie deal with the Jets and he got punched in the face by his teammate. That alone is okay, you must be a dick to get punched by your teammate. But then you find out the reason why, and it's because he said he was going to go to the guy's charity, football camp, and he got paid to go by the guy, the teammate, and then he didn't show. And the teammate was asking, why didn't you show? can I have my money back? And he laughed in his face. Punch-worthy offense to me. Dalton Kincaid. We're going to go with Kincaid here to get our first tight end. Jordan Love falling this far, that is really, really intriguing, I will say. I am setting up for this Cam Ward stack, though. That's tough. I'm going to go with Cam Ward. I got too much stock in Tennessee. Just makes more sense for me to do that. And we'll be done with quarterbacks here. We'll just stick with 2. Vegeta, rank please. All running backs second round. Hampton, Achane, Genty, Saquon, Walker, Brown, Henry. And Scadaboo a third round pick. If Scadaboo was going in the third, I'd have no issue with it. And I don't want to spoil too much of tomorrow's video, guys. Tomorrow's video, I am going to be ranking the top 61 players overall. Overall rankings tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned. You're going to catch a lot of how I feel about guys and how early I'd be willing to take guys. Not saying to take them above ADP. What I'm saying is there's some guys on there I've got ranked well above ADP, which should indicate to you that they're great values in drafts. When it comes to those backs in particular, Hampton's number 1. Achane is 2. Genty is 3. Chase Brown is 4. Saquon 5. Henry 6. Walker 7th. Coffeeholic, will you give him a good cut of my salary compensation? Right? Alias said fans still supported him if there were any left at that point. I don't remember. Yeah, you'll have to key me in on that. Alias said, if I ever became famous or need an agent for whatever reason, definitely going to use whoever Kirk O'Chains uses. That's factual. I think we could all take a book page out of his playbook for sure. That dude has, I mean, you don't want to say robbed the NFL because he's been a good quarterback, but is he that good? No. I don't think he's that good. Well, I already know I'm not getting Trey Tucker back. I've lost that hope. There's too many guys that are going to get him right now. Alias said, this will sound meaner than I want it to. And I know as a Raiders fan, I can't talk too much. But I kind of look at Browns and Jets fans as homeless people you see but try to not look at in the eyes. I will tell you, that is a bold statement from a Raiders fan. I'm not insulting the Raiders, but just history over my lifetime, certainly, it's a bold thing to say. I love it, though. That's hilarious. I think it's fantastic. My Browns fans know I love them because they're so cute. No, I have a lot of respect for Browns fans, man. I really do. I'm not even joking. I mean, to put up with that level of abuse on a yearly basis shows a lot of character. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Oh, God. Tyjae Spears is someone I've been interested in lately. I'm going to go with Tyjae. I'm just banking on this Tennessee offense entirely in this particular team. We're also going to get A.J. Barner here. And we'll probably get 3 tight ends in total. Dolphins, Ravens, Raiders, Cardinals, and Titans fans are almost as sad as Jets and Browns fans, but not quite yet in my opinion. I like the way you think about things, man. I really do. With Raiders and Titans, they still have a clear path to positive future. So for now, they aren't as in that bad tier yet. Dolphins and Cardinals are definitely closer to that level of suffering. I'll be honest, man. Like, the Dolphins in particular, and even the Cardinals, like, I can get on board with some of the moves they've made. I mean, the Dolphins just shifted cultures is what they did. Like, I'm not saying Jeff Hafley is the guy. What I am saying, though, is that I think that Hafley, after Mike McDaniel, signals a culture shift that I think they needed, which was, Mike McDaniel, as much as I like him as an OC, probably not the best head coach because dude was talking about for years, can't get guys to show up on time. Nobody respects me. He didn't say that, but, he was saying that you couldn't get guys to show up on time, and even if they'd find them, they still wouldn't show up to practice. That is a respect thing, though. Like, that is a thing. And if you're just not a disciplinarian like Mike isn't, then you need to go a different direction. So I'll defend on the Dolphins on that. Now, they clearly have a lot of work to do outside of that, though. The Cardinals, to me, they have pieces. Like, they have real pieces. The Dolphins, I'm not sure about, outside of Devon Achane. Like, their O-line's a mess. Their defense, probably going to be better this year. But in general, I think the Cardinals overall have more pieces. Vegeta, Barkley had 234 PPR points last year. McCaffrey had 236 in just passing alone, not even counting rushing. I think Saquon could easily beat his numbers from last year. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I will say this about Saquon. He was definitely just a part of the broader history that I've done about running backs after a 360 or 350 plus touch season. He's just a part of history. If you want to get specific, though, he had a worse offensive line without Lane Johnson, and their offense was atrocious. So I think if you watch Saquon on tape last year, this is the reason I'm not out on Saquon at all this year. I'm out on McCaffrey because if you look at both of them on tape, or if you just look at efficiency numbers, Saquon was still that dude last year. McCaffrey wasn't. Like, McCaffrey was just overloaded with volume. I mean, Kenyon Sadiq this late, I don't have an issue with. I'll take the shot on the rookie tight end. I have always liked the talent. I will say that. I think I'm good with these 5 running backs. I think I'm going to just go with receivers from here on out. Oh, excuse me. We're just going to continue our Cyrus Allen train right here. What do you say? What if Rashee Rice isn't good like I think he is? Then Cyrus Allen has a place. Miracle Baller 99, what's going on? Good to see it. Did you see Kenneth Walker starting fights at Kansas City? I did not see that. I did see the fights. I didn't see who they were started by. You know what's funny is that Kenneth Walker, like I was looking at, I don't know if anyone cares about this as much as I do. I always find it fascinating to look at when the players, like when a new season hits and the players get their headshots, right? Like their mug shots, basically. Like if you look at a player on any platform you're playing on, the face that you see, they take those new photos every year. Kenneth Walker's this year, I was like, dude, this guy looks like he wants to kill you through the phone. So I'm not surprised. That's awesome. It's good to see you. Vegeta, Geno Smith had 2 decent seasons in PPR. That was with Tyler Lockett and DK in the 1-2 wide receiver punch role. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it for Geno. Geno just sucks. Like, I don't get the crowd in fantasy that's like, oh, Geno Smith, he's going to really take Garrett Wilson to relevancy again. Garrett Wilson's always been relevant, but people out there saying, like, he's going to be the savior. It's kind of like how I feel about Kyler being the savior for JJ. I just don't see it. Coffeeholic, going heavy Denver and Seattle options in this one. I can't help myself with the Broncos options. Hey, man, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? You got JSN, you got Sutton, Dobbins, Bo, 3 Broncos straight. Darnold? Oh, you were trying to get my AJ Barner, I see. I see. You know I like AJ Barner, man. I can't tell you guys like how important the tight end video is. It barely gets any views on my channel, but that is one of the most important, if not the most important video of the offseason. Maybe it'll just be everyone's little secret who actually watches. Alias says, if I was going to pick a girl to go out with based on her NFL team, definitely picking someone who has been a lifelong Jets or Browns fan. You know they will never cheat on you. That's why I respect them. Because it's like, if you're able to take that much abuse and not leave, not that, obviously not implying to abuse them, but like their loyalty is unquestioned. That's the point. That's the point. That's all I'm trying to say. Alias, I'm a bold guy. What can I say? Hey, I am too, man. I like it. I like it, man. I respect it. All right, what are our last two picks going to be here? Keon Coleman, we're going to do it again. That dude better not be all hype again. I'm going to be irritated if that's the case. You know who I've been liking to go with occasionally? Jahan Dotson I like to mix in a little bit. This dude, he's going to get targets there. And he's being like people are acting like he's a nothing burger. Maybe he will be, but I think he's going to get some targets. But that'll wrap it up today, guys. It was a good one today. We announced some good news. Appreciate all you guys' support. And I had a great time tonight. This was one of my favorite streams in a while. They're all fun, but tonight particularly was a good time. Appreciate all you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel on the way out. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Overall rankings, top 61 tomorrow. Make sure you're staying tuned for that. So you guys have a good night. Peace out.